so glad you came back one more time. We're going to have a good time today. I've got an 11 by 14 canvas. This is smaller than usual. It is covered with liquid white, so it's all wet and ready to go. And this is my friend Baby. Baby, say hello. Well, I guess not, but Baby's a sweetie. Baby's an umbrella cockatoo, our pet, and he's going to join me today. I'll crush your fingers, he behaves. So, well, another mystery painting. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. Let's get into this first and see. Of course, we're going to go for the sky first. We always go for the sky first. So I got a nice little coat of liquid white on there. Everything's wet. The first thing I'll go into is my phthalo blue. Tap my brush into that. Oh, wipe that brush off. You don't want that phthalo blue covering your whole earth. And it will, and it will. Oh, drag a little down here. That might be a dead giveaway, but what can I say? And get a little started in the sky. I've got a little lavender, kind of a lavender blue. Well, wipe that off. That's pretty dark. Maybe go for a lighter one. Yeah, that's good. A little lavender. That's going to go in there too, especially in the corners. Okay, and as long as I'm doing that, I might as well pull a little of that down here. You probably guessed what's going down. Oh, you probably guessed. Water. All right, you guessed. Water's always flat, so we'll just pull it out and make it nice and even. Oh, flat, flat, flat. Please be flat. Okay. Never goes uphill and it never goes downhill. As long as I'm down there, I'm gonna add myself just a little bit more of that lavender, and then I won't have to come back. I'll be all done. I'll be all done with that. Let's see. Okay, so now some nice long, even strokes. Oh, my hand wants to go uphill today, so we'll have to get it to behave. Okay, I guess that's as level as it's going to get. I'm down the bottom. Let me finish off the bottom. I know just what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick up a little bit of Van Dyke brown, a little bit of browns, and just place them down here, because I'm going to want them there later. So I might as well get it down there now. In fact, if I mix a little bit of lavender and brown, I'd be even happier. I'd get a nice dark corner. You know I like dark corners. And flatten it out. Who knows what's going to happen. Okay. Now, a clean, dry brush is what I need to finish off this sky. And, well, that brush, oh, well, I did that myself. It was clean before I dirtied it. I'll get another clean, dry brush. And start by mixing this blue up a little. Pull it down towards the horizon. Oh, there's a little runaway bristle. Your brushes will do that on you. Every once in a while, they give up their bristles. But you just pluck them out and they're gone. So we'll just mix those colors together, lavender and blue, lavender and blue. We're mixing them together, and you know I'm just going to soften it out in the end. Do, 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 do. So this is a mystery horizon too. You don't know where it begins and where it ends, because that takes the pressure off making it perfect, doesn't it? A bunny brush will do this just fine. A little bunny brush will take all the last little bit of brush strokes that we maybe don't want in our sky. Nice soft little, almost like a cosmetic brush. Oh, give that a nice little brush. Okay, that's our beginning. That's our beginning. So this is going to be a seascape. And we've got our sky, and we've got our beginning of our water laid in. And I'm going to do some cloud work. I'm going to make my clouds with a little fan. This is a small canvas, so the small fan is a good choice. I'm going to go into titanium white. Load that little fan with titanium white and just start to decide like maybe where the clouds will be. And I'll just hit the canvas with and do little round circly things and say, well, maybe that's a cloud. Maybe that's a cloud. We haven't done clouds before, so this is new. And it might go that way and it might go this way. Look at Baby, how well behaved he is. He got invited back. He was well behaved last time too, so right, he got invited back. Okay, so I do my clouds in layers. That's my top layer. I've got that in. I'm going to come back in. Well, this is a nice clean 1 inch. And I'm going to just 3 hairs and a little air and go right under that line and do little circles. Little teeny blendy circles. And I'm staying away from the top edge. Sort of. I mean, nothing really bad would happen if you broke it, but sort of stay away from the top edge. And little tiny circles under there. Get that nice little billowy little cloud thing happening. Maybe. Okay, don't want to overdo that. That's probably enough. Now let's go for another layer. We'll get some more white on the brush. And we can put another layer in. Oh, you got a little cough there? Huh? Was that a little bird cough I heard? Oh my goodness. My goodness. And there might be a little more right here. You could almost, clouds are so much fun. You can close your eyes and smash it in. Whatever you do is perfectly fine. It all comes out right in the end. And go in and blend them in a little bit. All comes out right in the end. Clouds, wherever you put them, that's where they're supposed to be. I love clouds. Yes. They're like flowers, flower petals. When you're doing flowers, the leaves and the petals, wherever you put them, that's where they're supposed to be. Who's going to tell? If you're doing a portrait, you better have the nose in the right place. But when it comes to clouds, there's no nose. So we can play like this. We can do as many layers as you really feel like doing. When you get down near the horizon, I do think that they get I think of them as getting smaller, the billows get smaller. Because it's kind of far away down there. Well, because it's far away up there too. Now that I've got that in, I think I could add a little color to those. And ochre and titanium white. Make nice and light. I'm going to go for the tips of some of the top ones. Add a little color, ochre, titanium white, a little color. And I'll come back in, wipe off my brush and come back in and do some more of my little stirring up, stay away from the top edge deal, and stir that in. A little color in the clouds. I mean, you could have that yellow all over the place if you want. Sort of catching the sunlight up there. That's a happy place. They're happy clouds. They're in the sunlight. But even though they're in the sunlight, there's probably a little bit of cloud. Let's see. Wipe this brush off. If I wipe it off really good, I can probably keep using it. Won't even have to clean it. Pick up a little bit of lavender. This lavender is phthalo blue and alizarin together makes wonderful lavender. More alizarin than phthalo blue always. And then I put a little titanium white in it, and I got lavender. And I'm just going to dance a little lavender in there. I'm going to mix it up, But the lavender is going to go at the bottom of the cloud. A little shadow. Now I can really go in there and stir things up. Stir things up. And when I'm done stirring things up with this brush, I'll switch to my soft little bunny blender brush and give it a final stir. Now that's one version. You can make your clouds. Oh, bright red and white's a wonderful color to add. Blues are always nice, but be careful with blue, And so a little lavender at the bottom and a little yellow at the top. And now I'm going to give the whole thing a little bit of stroking with my blender. The more you stroke it, the more they'll kind of disappear into the background of the picture. We don't want to lose them all together, so I'll be careful doing that. But we'll give them that final little stroke. Well, that's kind of interesting. I like that yellow. That's nice. The sunlight shining in the cloud there. I guess I better get out of there. Somebody stop me, right? Okay, that's a nice little cloud bank. Now the horizon line. Maybe I better go for that horizon line. And I'll pick up, I've got lavender and I've got blue. I've got phthalo blue and lavender. A little bit of both. I don't want that phthalo blue jumping out at me. But let me just go for that horizon line. Well, trying to get it straight now. Trying to get it straight now. Baby, you gonna tell me if it's not straight? I almost have to move my whole body over there as I go. Well, I think that's as straight as it's gonna be today. Okay. And then we'll bring some a little more color in. A little more color in. That's a good color. That's working. Let's have some more of that and make ourselves a few more little streaks. I'm mixing it with the violet because I don't want it to jump out blue. You know, it's not electric blue. It's kind of a quiet little sea today. And if you're not careful, it'll jump out at you. And I've got streaks in there. I've got those streaks in there on purpose. I like them. I'm keeping them. I want to make them work for me. Okay, they're working streaks. They're not going to get paid though. Oh, let's see. I have the urge to steer this up a little more. Gee, boy, do I need my students here to make me stop. Okay, I'll stop, honest. Okay, I got a happy little cloud in the sky, and I've got my horizon line, and I've got some streaks working for me, but I am on the level. Think on the level. Now, I think my big knife will do the job. I'm gonna put some little faraway waves. My little faraway waves, I can use that same little violet, but a tiny little roll of paint, and I'll just come here and place a little bit of paint way back there. Little far away waves. You can hardly see them. And I don't want to get too white too fast. That's why I went for the violet. Yeah. Little, just place them there. A little bit of paint comes off the knife. That's quite all right. All I want. A little bit of far away thing happening. Now, I could pick up some titanium white and get lighter. I'll put a little lavender in it. Make sure I don't get too light too fast. And do some more of that. Little far away, little far away waves. Okay, I guess it helps if you can talk to yourself. I'm big on that. That's why I always have a bird in my studio. So if anybody's wondering what's going on up there, they'll, you know, I just say, well, I'm just talking to my bird. I'm really talking to myself. Now, take my little blender, and I'm going to give this a nice little light stroke. Stay away from your horizon. You already got that straight, but a little stroke, and it kind of softens those in. And then they really do become your faraway waves. Okay. Now we could think about a more major wave. That's scary. My filbert will do that for me. Jeepers, baby, you come to the studio and you just sit there and groom yourself for an hour. I'm telling you. Just sit there and groom. Baby can talk. He has a few words. Hi and hello at his best, but birds only talk when they feel like it. That's why there's no bird acts, you know, no birds in shows, because they definitely only talk when they feel like it. I can feel. Ooh, I'm going to put a little color. This is one wave. This is, well, it's kind of a, you know, it's my first little far away thing. Come in with the filbert, put a little color there. Waves have shadows. Okay, that's one. I can do another one. Lavender and blue. I'm picking up lavender and blue and somewhere in between, and there might be another one. This one I'm going to be a little braver on. Wowee. Reasonably straight, but straight doesn't count. And when it comes to waves, straight doesn't count. Okay. See? Whoa. Well, that one really does have a big dip to it. But there's another one. Okay, let me work on those two before I move on. I've got some titanium white mixed with liquid white. It's like half and half. Yeah. And I've got it spread out like frosting. I think I might switch to my small knife. Give me a little more leeway. Get a little roll of paint on that knife. I'll come back to the back wave first, and I'm going to scrape my knife along the top edge of that shadow I pressed. The top edge of that shadow. And maybe that might look like a little bit of the top edge of the wave coming at you. Because it's easy so far, because it's a faraway wave. We can get away with anything right now. So, far away wave. So it's just like scraping in a water line. All right, I'm going to call that one done. Now I've got this guy coming up right here. And I'm going to do the same thing to him. I'm going to run that little roll of paint right across the top of that shadow. Right across the top of that shadow. So I hope you've been painting, and I hope you've been watching. And I want you to write to me. At the end of the show, I'm going to put my address on the screen. And if you'd like directions to this painting, you know, a list of the colors and the steps, I'll send them to you, and I'll send them to you free. You just write to me. This is painting number 10. You have to remember that when you write to me. And certainly, if you're home watching, you should be painting. And that's for young and old too. I mean, seniors have very good luck with this because they have the time and the patience. But I have some 12-year-olds in my classes that do wonderful work. So a young person, this is great for a young person too. You should be painting. One more wave. I'm coming in for another good-sized wave. So here I go. And I'm a little darker now, you know. It's just things are light in the back and they get darker as you move forward. And I'm still mixing my blue with some lavender. I just don't want to scare myself too much. And just work it over there. Put that shadow in. Yeah. This is going to be a simple little seascape, you know. Let's keep it simple. Keep it simple. Oh, we'll work up to the tricky ones. It'll be coming. Get ready. All right, it'll come. So now I got a little heftier shadow in there. Okay. And you know what I'm going to do to the top of that. You already know that. So before I do that, I'm going to take a little dry fan and just pull that color. But I'm going to pull it the way, you know, the wave would curl in and then flatten out. Kind of getting it to lay down too. You know that it's a wave, but it does have to lay down. So let's angle. Angle is everything in a seascape. You know, of course, once I get this in, I might change my mind. I'll have to change the angle. I'll go all the way back over it again. But okay, angle, 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 angle. Okay, that my light color is coming right up and hitting my dark. But I can live with that. That wasn't exactly planned though. But it'll happen every time, won't it? Okay, I got an angle going, so I've got a cup of a wave and it's coming down to the shore and I can almost feel that now. You know, maybe, almost feel that. So if I go into my little roll of titanium white and liquid white on my knife, and I could put a little cap on that too. And put a little cap on that. And it's almost like it's capping over and coming at you. Almost. Maybe. Okay, let's keep it simple. La da 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 dee. It helps to sing. Singing's good. Singing's a happy person. You know, when you're creating something, you get so into it. You get into this happy zone. It's what athletes call the zone. Well, there's a zone in painting too. You get into that happy zone, and even if you were not happy before you started, you are going to get there. So you just paint whether you feel like it or not. That's all I can say. And then you get into the zone where nothing else matters. All the problems and cares of the world don't matter anymore. I'm going to do one more of these and then I'd best be out. So let's just do one more of those. One more. And then we have to think about the beach, huh? The beach. That's the fun part. Yes, we'll do one more of those. Same thing. I'll get the shadow in there. Use my fan brush. I'll start on this side. I had more luck over here. Use my fan brush to level it off to the beach. And I really got to think about leveling off now, so we won't mess around too much. We'll pick it right to the beach. Go. Oh, wow. Mercy me. Those are two little fast waves. You wouldn't want to be between those two guys. Yes. But level it off, level it off, level it off. And I can put a little white cap on there. And then we're going to go for the beach. You know, painting's like singing. Singing's the same thing. Even if you were depressed, if you started singing, like you were in a choral group or went to church and sang, all of a sudden this warm, happy glow comes over you. And that's because you go in the zone, that happy zone. So there's sports, there's painting, there's singing. Of course, falling in love, that'll do it too. Huh? Right, baby? Baby, how many times you going to comb those feathers, huh? Jeepers. Baby's very into getting those feathers all in a row. Is that like getting your ducks in a row, huh? Is that like that? So I'm scraping in a little white cap to the top of that. We're not going to do a dump over or an eye right now. We are. It's going to come. You start with this simple thing, simple seascape, and we're going to work up to those tricky little things. Your bunny brush, if you get to something, don't fall down, little bird. If you get to something you're not quite happy with, you give it a little brush with a bunny. Whoops. And you can make them nice again. I'll soften the edges. Okay. Now on the beach, I think we better roll onto that beach. And I'm going to roll onto that beach. I'm going to get a little more titanium white. Titanium white. I got just a speck of liquid white in it. Wipe my knife. I got my big knife because this is big business now. There's my roll of paint. I'm thinking I've got a little foam on the beach. What do you think? I got a little foam on the beach? And this is just like making a water line. Press in there and get that paint to come off that knife. We'll get kind of a foam lapping on the beach. It would come, oh, and it would go this way and that way. Work its way over to here, maybe. And then, where is that little fan? You're not too dirty. I can still use you. The back of the foam, we can angle and smooth out. Stay away from the front edge. The front edge is done. The back you can smooth out and angle if you want. Stay away from the front. Angle is everything. You know what that needs? That really needs a little bunny. What do you think? Oh, get that little, I better get out of there, huh? Okay. I'll go for one more of those. One more. Maybe it's coming out right here. And it's just like a water line. I just press it in until it comes off the knife. And that's my little foam on the beach. This is a real simple seascape. This is getting you on the basics. Okay? Next time we do it, we're going to move on from here. Now this is such an easy little seascape we have to do. I could see some little birds in the sky, I think. I would go for, well, I have some black here, but I would put lavender in it too. You know, nothing. I find nothing in nature is really black. I pick it up because it suits my purpose, because of this value. I want dark, I get dark. Oh, you found the top, huh? The top of the world. That's little Squirt likes it up there too, huh? That's a favorite place. You do have good manners, you know. I misjudged you. Okay, so I have lavender with a little black in it. You know, the black is so I can darken up, but I always use other colors to make black. Don't use black to make black if you can avoid it. And as long as we're out in the sky, oh, brace your hand a little bit and think about there might be a little bird there. Ooh, he's cute. There might be another one too. There might be, we'll make the next one though, oh, a little different size. You could think a little, I stop in the middle and then go for the other wing. I think of these quickie little seagulls are really M's. I'm making an M. The M comes down, I stop to think about it, and then I go back up. When you stop to think about it, sometimes that happy accident comes, that little that little body fills in. I got 3. I better stop at that because if I keep going, I'm going to have to do 5. Seeing I'm such an odd person. Now I want to put a little dune in some grass. I mean, I'm not too sure which side I should put it on. What do you think? Probably over here. Over here. Let's see. Grab one of these guys. I've got a warm brown, and I'm going to mix it with lavender even. Warm brown and lavender. And if I was over here, I'd see a dune. You'd say, well, oh God, she's done it now. I know. I think the same thing myself. She's done it now. I just, you know, I want a little thing there. Oh, I have some white and ochre. That might, woo-wah-wee. Now it's getting more sandy. I need a good top edge. I'm trying to get a good top edge. Once I get a top edge there, I can deal with the rest. Should have a little sunlight on it. Do, 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 do. Do, do. Well, the clouds have got a little sunlight on them. Sand dunes should too. Okay, now I can put some grasses in there, and that's just what I wanted to do. My little fan is my grass brush, my favorite grass brush, and I'll go into a little warm brown and do that little uppy thing that happens with a fan brush, that little uppy thing. I can take another fan brush and just pull them up, and the little grasses just kind of happen. Ooh, do, 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 do. Just kind of happen all by themselves. And if I drag in the bottom, we've done that before, right? You drag in the bottom, make sure they look like they belong there. And then all I've got to do with my liner brush is pull up some real pretty ones. Let's see. Some real pretty ones. Let's see what I got. Let's get some of this, you know, some of that. You gotta get brave. Ooh, there you go. Gotta get brave. Because if you live in Galilee now, you know what they look like, and you be making them look really good. I know. Put little ends on them and everything, right? Woo, woo, woo. But I'm just gonna throw them in there and hope for the best. Okay, but I'm happy now. Maybe there's some things sticking out here. I don't know. Maybe there's some things sticking out here. Now this is you can play with these grasses forever. This is where you get to sit and play for an hour. Okay? And you can throw your grasses in and make them look really nice. And you can put your birds in the sky. And that's a very, very, very simple little seascape. That's a place to start. And from there we're going to go on to more difficult seascapes, and we can do them, you know, crashing waves and everything. We will do them. So stay tuned, because I'm going to be back with more paintings. So happy painting. Bye bye.